What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute, but WrestleMania is in the past, and we are officially back with our predictions for WWE moving into 2027. 2026 has started to take shape, and the landscape is shuffling. From the Bloodline Civil War to Cody Rhodes' lackluster title run, I am asking one question: what's next? Or better yet, who's next? Today, I am breaking down my early predictions for all the champions who's returning, who's betraying the tribal tree. Let's dive in. I'm starting with the tag team titles. Now, I know what you're thinking. The men's division is boring right now. But the women, that's where the fire is. The Bella Twins and Paige had massive mania movement, taking the gold from the entire division. Who challenges them next? It's not Naya or Lash. I just saw Lash beat Jordan Grace on main event last week. So she seems to be moving to the singles division. My prediction, I think Brie Bella returns and costs Paige and Nikki the title against Fatal Influence or the Judgment Day. Unless Asuka finds her Kairi, I didn't see any other challenges. The Bellas turning on Paige gave them one last big impact before they retire for good. The win at Mania was the shock value, but the clock is ticking. Moving to the women's US title. Tiffany Stratton just beat Julia on the SmackDown after Mania. Tiffy time is popular for sure, but her in-ring talent is still a question mark for me. Triple H likes her, so she might hold it past SummerSlam, but I don't see her making it to WrestleMania. Kiana James is the immediate threat. She was impressive at Chamber. Lash Legend and Nia Jax are in the mix too. But the real goat here is Chelsea Green. She does things with a belt that nobody else can. She elevates the division with that hilarious talent, and it's exactly what SmackDown needs. 5-star matches, 5-star performances. Next up, the man is back around. Becky Lynch is officially a 3-time Women's IC champ. She's the best in the division. She doesn't say it. Sports Illustrated and Bleacher Report say it. But the best part, she isn't looking at the locker room anymore. She is going for the Undertaker's trick. I don't know if she thinks she's going 21-0 or wrestling until 2050. But adding Becky to this division was the smartest move Creative made last year. With AJ Lee out and Lyra in the rear view, I see Sol Ruka and Roxanne Perez in the mix. Sol brings the athleticism to push Becky, and Roxanne is blowing up right now, especially after that segment with Finn on Raw. Alexa Bliss maybe, but she's destined for a match with Charlotte next year. It's sure gonna be a call-up or someone the man hasn't faced yet. Alright, we have to talk about the WWE Women's title, and honestly, I'm tired of Rhea Ripley. Mommy is dominant, but she snatched that belt right when Jade Cargill was starting to cook. Jade had something special with Mission and BFAB. It was a staple nobody asked for, but it was fresh. It added depth to the blue brand. Then Rhea walks in, destroys the momentum, and we are back to Raw after Netflix. Who can actually beat Rhea? The obvious answer is Io Sky. But I don't think they do that at SummerSlam. That's a Mania rematch. If that's the case, the division is doomed. I want to see Jade dismantle the roster to force Rhea into a rematch. But watch out for Fatal Influence. JCJ isn't just a call-up. She's a takeover, taking out Charlotte, Paige and the tag division before going toe to toe with Rhea. That's the boldest debut in years. If GC takes the title, I am 100% here for it. Move over, mommy, it's time for JC Jane. The last match between Liv Morgan and Stephanie McMahon was a letdown. 7 minutes? Really? The entrances were longer than the match. But you can't deny the flair. Liv brings that new theme. Trouble, trouble, that's me. She looks like a star, and with the Judgment Day backing her, she's untouchable. Stephanie's out for 6 weeks after that Raw attack, and Liv isn't on the Backlash card. So who steps up? Io Sky is building momentum, but long term, it's surely Roxanne Perez. Liv's the veteran. Roxanne's the sidekick, who isn't treated as an equal. That friction, plus Raquel Rodriguez getting annoyed with Liv's attitude. That's a betrayal waiting to happen. Raquel must come for that cold. Now the men's tag team division. What is going on here? We have got the Vision on Raw and the Judgment Day beta on SmackDown. But there is no Vision for the division. Look at the casualties. MCMG, White Six, Tangaloa, and now New Day. It's like WWE has used a giant eraser on the roster. Aside from the Miz and Kit Wilson, who's left? The Street Profits are back, but are they on the level what we lost? The division is on fumes. I would take Tama and Tala Tonga over Logan and Terry any day. But TKO wants those prime paychecks. Where are the teams that defined our childhood? The Dudleys, the Hardys. Tag wrestling used to be the heartbeat of the show. Now it's an afterthought. I have got a separate best of tag team wrestling video coming soon. But for now, tell me, is there any team left that can save this division? If you want a home run, it's the US title. Trick Williams is the hottest thing on SmackDown. He's gonna put Sami Zayn to rest in Tampa. And when the Whoop That era hits Top Gear, Ricky Sands just debuted, and while it wasn't at the level of Obafemi or JC Chen, it's a start. But the feud feels to NXT for me. I'm gonna make a bold prediction. Kevin Owens is close to return after that neck surgery. KO returning to FN Sami is the high stakes feud we need. But what we are definitely getting is Trick versus Carmelo Hayes. They have the history, and the Melo is still bitter about losing the belt to Sami in March. That's predictable but fire. We gotta stay on SmackDown for the undisputed title because it is in absolute chaos. Cody Rhodes is out here in suit talking about bleeding for the title, but the boos are getting louder every week. The ring general Gunther finally choked the hell out of him last week, making Randy lose at Mania was a risk, and then he disappeared for 3 weeks. Now the ring general left the champ dropping like a sack of potatoes. In this state, Gunther will eat him alive. It's what I have wanted since Crown Jewel last year. My prediction, Gunther wins the title at Money in the Bank before Cody gets a rematch. He has to go through Randy in a last man standing match at SummerSlam. Triple H though won't let that happen. He has a formula. Cody wins, gets beat up, wins it back. It's a loop. We want the Scottish Warrior. We want Drew McIntyre. But while I'm dreaming of broken dreams, we are probably just getting Cody versus Gunther until Cody wins again at Mania. It's a nightmare that won't end. Back on Raw, it's Penta's fault. Since he took that belt from Dominic in March, he's brought that intensity we have been missing. But the Sharks are circling. Ethan Page is looking for that ego trip. Rusev is back. But man, he needs to bring back Rusev because he needs a pop more than ever. Then there is the prodigy, Dreons. The kid is 21 and incredible. But he needs to drop that OG cutter. He's cracking his back every week, and in this state, he's gonna end his career before it starts. Paige is playing it smart, letting the guys break each other so he can pick up the scrapes. I predict Ethan Page walks into summer as champ unless WWE shifts the momentum back to Rusev. What do you think? Can Penta carry this all the way to WrestleMania? Finally, the big one, the World Heavyweight Championship. The landscape has shifted because the Tribal Chief won the gold and put on Classic at Mania. With Jacob Fatu officially stepping up, we are looking at a collision that's going to shake the foundations of WWE. For years now, this belt felt like a secondary title, but the OTC walked into WrestleMania 42, took down the best in the world, and suddenly this is the biggest prize in the industry. Roman is on Raw every week, ratings are exploding, and it's 2020 all over again. The bloodline is back, seeing Jay and Jimmy making that entrance with Roman, cinema. My moment of 2026. But there is shadow over the Ula Fala. The Samoan werewolf is coming for the island at Backlash, and he ain't coming alone. Who was he talking to on the phone? Was it The Rock, Rikishi, or was it Sela or Kamiko Fatu? Preparing to debut. And don't forget main event Jey Uso. He's tasted gold with all hate he's been getting. Will he finally turn heel? Not because he hates Roman, but because he wants that title for himself. Lastly, we gotta talk about Oba Femi. He bit the beast and he's already called out Roman. Femi is the only man who can match Roman's power. WWE has a megastar in the making. Roman isn't a part-timer anymore. He's a full-time anchor of Monday nights. He lifted this title from consolation to the ultimate prize. But that's just my take on the road to Riyadh. Is Roman gonna rule Raw for another 1,000 days? Or is someone gonna tear the island down? And seriously, who was Jacob talking to over the phone? I want to hear from you in the comments. If you enjoy the breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe and turn on notifications because we are just getting started. I'll see you in the next one.